Members of Congress disappointed with the outcome of today's vote. She's actually one of the sponsors of the bill. Congresswoman Maloney is joining me from New York City tonight, fresh off Washington, to talk more about this measure and the multiple battles that are taking place on Capitol Hill. Congresswoman, good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening, Liz. We miss you. We miss you here in New York, but they're fortunate to have you in Albany.
Thank you. That's very kind. Thanks. So the Zadroga bill, we saw a disappointment in the Senate today, and now you are calling for it to be put into the tax cut deal. Why are you asking for that?
I truly do believe if we do not pass it in this Congress, then I don't see how we can bring it to life again in a Republican-controlled Congress next year whose leadership opposes the bill. So the only opportunity to take care of the heroes and heroines of 9/11 who rushed in to save the lives of others, we need to take care of them. The only way we can pass this bill is to pass it in this Congress, and the only vehicle that we know is guaranteed to have the Republican support to pass it is the tax bill. So we are moving to attach it to the tax bill and hoping that it can pass.
Okay.
It is a sad day, sad day, when you can't gain in the Congress of the United States the needed 60 votes to move it to the floor for a debate and passage with a majority. We had 58 votes in the Senate, 42 in opposition. It failed, and it is a tragic day. We are pushing for another vote in the Senate, but the one area that we know will probably pass and is supported by the Republicans is the tax bill.
Okay,
so we're trying to attach
Congresswoman, the tax deal that we're talking about, that the president actually cut with the Republicans, already has a give and take in it, does it not? The extension of the unemployment benefits, which is something that some Republicans say that they can't swallow. So if you put in Zadroga too, wouldn't that decrease the chances of the whole package passing?
Well, the package had many things in, not only the extension of the unemployment, but the child care tax credit, a decrease in payroll taxes to help job development, and also the expansion of the earned income tax credit, so, and other refundables to help the working poor. There were many good things in that bill, too. The James Zadroga Health and Compensation Act is fully paid for. It had a pay for by deleting a tax incentive that was given to foreign companies investing in the United States through tax haven areas.
Right.
So it's fully paid for and has support, bipartisan support. Senator Kirk has come out for it, and also from New York, Congressman King. And we had 18 votes in the House when we passed it early in September. It has bipartisan support. We feel that it is something that is necessary to take care of the people who took care of us in times of a crisis.
Okay, so but if I may, though, the tax bill agreement, the tax cut package agreement is already in trouble, is it not? Members of your party just today said that they didn't want to go forward. Your own conference, the liberal wing of the Democratic Party, is not pleased with the tax cut deal.
Well, there are some displeased on both the right and the left. The Tea Party types don't like it either, and they've been speaking out. As you know, Senator DeMint has said he will vote against it. So it's being fully negotiated and debated, but I believe adding the 9/11 Health and Compensation Act would bring progressive votes to the bill. Because I circulated a letter in support of it and have well over 60 signatures of people who would look more favorably on the bill if the 9/11 Health and Compensation Act was included.
Did the Vice President not say, however, that that the bill wasn't going to be changing terribly much? And also today, you saw Harry Reid didn't say very much about whether he'd be willing to put Zadroga into the tax cut package.
Well, as you know, Liz, the exception confirms the rule. And if you believe in something, you keep pushing to the last minute. And I've seen many things change at the last minute. And putting this in may give the president the needed votes that he needs to pass the package. So it's under negotiation. I know the president supports the 9/11 Health and Compensation Bill, as does the vice president, who is frequently here in New York and actually was here for the 9/11 ceremony that we had down at Ground Zero on the anniversary day. But I know they support it, and it's just a matter of negotiation. We are working very hard, Congressman King and Congressman Nadler and the entire New York delegation, trying to get it attached to the tax bill, trying any way we can to get it passed, because as I said, it is our last possibility of passing this important bill.
Congressman,
we had many survivors up in the gallery, and they were so depressed today that it did not pass after so many years of advocacy, so many editorials of support.
If you would be so kind, just remind us, particularly for my viewers who are, of course, are upstate, how expansive of a bill this is, because it had some Republicans and some opponents generally characterizing it as some kind of special dispensation just for people from New York City, but that's actually not the case.
No, Liz, as you know, every state and 432 of the 435 congressional districts sent volunteers, police, fire, volunteers to work at 9/11, at the 9/11 site. I've never seen our country more united or determined to help rebuild and to combat terrorism. 9/11, these people are the first veterans of the war against terror. And this bill provides monitoring for those who were exposed to the deadly toxins and health care for those who are sick. We know that we lost roughly 3,000 people on 9/11 who did exactly what you did today, and most Americans got up and went to work and innocently sat at their desks and were murdered. But these are people who rushed in to take care of them and now are sick, and many are dying, and we need to take care of them. It not only is the humanitarian thing to do, it is good public policy for Homeland Security. God forbid that we are attacked again. And we know there have been many attempts to attack our great country since 9/11. It's all been thwarted, thank goodness. But God forbid we are attacked again. Will we have construction workers and contractors and volunteers and first responders say, hey, I don't want to go there because I'm not going to be taken care of? We need to show this nation that we will take care of our heroes and heroines. After Pearl Harbor, we immediately passed a comprehensive health care package and treatment for the citizens and those that helped rebuild Pearl Harbor and then became sick from the exposure that they had there. They were there for us. We need to be there for them. It's a very important bill on many levels.
Congresswoman, if I may just interrupt you for 1 second, because I don't want to run out of time before I have an opportunity to ask you this question. Just back to the tax cut bill for a second. A lot of Democrats, including some here in New York, have been very critical of the president, particularly Anthony Weiner, who is obviously your colleague in the House delegation. Do you believe that the president has sold out the liberal wing of the party here and has not stuck to his guns in terms of negotiation and negotiating something that actually more Democrats could live with?
Well, what the vice president said is he's a good negotiator. He came and talked to our caucus last night, and he said they did the best that they could, that if we do not, you have to realize that if we do not pass this bill, this is the last feasible time that we'll be able to pass Democratic priorities. In January, the Congress becomes a Congress that is dominated by Republicans, and they have the votes to pass their tax package. What we have now is an opportunity to attach to it Democratic priorities, such as the 9/11 health bill, such as the unemployment, which is at a crisis level. 2 million people are unemployed during the holidays, and there are 5 Americans for every job that's available. So what do the other 4 people do? They are looking for work, but it's not there. If they don't have the unemployment, they're on welfare or disability, which is far more costly. And we want them attached to the job market and to continue seeking work. It also has the child tax credit. It has the earned income tax credit, a cut in payroll taxes. It is basically a stimulus bill. It is putting more money into the economy to keep it going. And we know, Liz, that the economy still is very fragile. And certainly the best job for an unemployed worker is to improve our economy so that there are jobs there for them.
Congresswoman, I want to thank you very much for joining us this evening. It's very kind of you. I know you just got out of a plane coming from Washington. Carolyn Maloney, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me and for being interested in this important issue. It will save lives. It's important. It's the right thing to do. Thank you so much, Liz Benjamin. Thank you.